the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of March 27th, 2023. I'm Nicole Erdix, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
Every week we chat about what parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. This week we are complaining about oversharing and obsessing about what makes us feel like good moms.
Is it oversharing? Never mind. Go ahead.
We also take a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. Today we are talking about, yes, the evils of Facebook, people.
Boo.
Consider this your PSA.
Yes, as we talked about last week, Nicole was in Facebook limbo, was unpersoned by Facebook.
She was
disappeared.
She brings us now the true story. Buckle in.
You guys, I just can't. Like,
This will be a very short episode if you can't.
I don't even know where to start, but it has been a week of Facebook persecution. Like, it's just been like this constant. Every time I try to do something, every time I try to contact, every time I try a different strategy, I get shut down. So I'm going to backtrack here and give you the full story.
Yeah, start from the beginning.
So there I was last Thursday night. I was chatting on the phone with my daughter.
But actually, two Thursday nights ago by the time people are listening to this, right?
Yes. Okay, yeah, that's right. So we were gossiping, as we like to do. And she mentioned somebody's name, and I'm like, oh, let's see what they're up to on Instagram. So I go onto Instagram, and we're like stalking this person in a fun way, like a low-key casual, like, oh, what's this person up to? And the next thing I know, so then I logged out, or, I didn't log out, but I exited out of that app, or I left that app. And then I'm like, oh, let's see what they're doing on Facebook. And so I go over to Facebook and I get this alert saying that my account has been disabled.
Yee.
And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, is this a joke? Did I do something wrong on Instagram? Like, is this punishment for stalking somebody?
We know what you were doing.
And then I went over to my email, and sure enough, I had like 3 or 4 emails from Facebook in Vietnamese.
What?
Yes.
Oh, no.
And I had to use Google Translate to figure out that my account had been disabled. And I was like, what? And so I went back to my Instagram account, because remember I had left it and now I've come back. And I noticed that on my Instagram account, my name is now Lily Collins. I am now Lily Collins, who is Emily in Paris, for those people who are wondering.
And meanwhile, Terry and I are on Facebook going, why is our chat with Nicole no longer with Nicole, but with Lily Collins? What is happening?
What's going on? Exactly.
At which point I Googled Lily Collins hack and oh dear.
And then you dropped the bad news. Because what had happened was like, I hit those emails like Thursday night, and I just couldn't. It said my account was disabled, and it was late. I had to go to bed. I couldn't take the time to figure it out. So I wake up the next morning, and so, this Terry's message, it just hits the ground running, right? Like, oh boy, this is not good. And then at the same,
you did the whole, like, maybe if I just ignore this for a little while.
Yes, I did. I did the Catherine and Terry thing. Is I was like, okay, I'm just, not going to deal with it right now. I have to wait until the morning. And then
that is the internet equivalent of unplug it and plug it back in.
Exactly. And so I had another friend who also messaged me and said, hey, what's going on with your account? It says Lily Collins. And I'm like, oh, that's my Instagram account. Something's going on with it. It's kind of messed up. Facebook messed it up. And they're like, but I don't see you on Facebook either. Like, oh my gosh, what? So I go back because I thought, oh, it's just a cruel joke, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And sure enough, my account just didn't exist. And so it gives you the option, Facebook, liar. It says in the message, it says you have 180 days to appeal this decision. And so you can upload an ID of yourself to prove that you were hacked.
Except you have to have an account to do that, right?
Well, yes, because there's two steps in the process. One is being deactivated and the other one is being disabled. I was at step 1 at that point.
Yeah.
I had been deactivated. And then it says I had a moment of, this time period to prove to Facebook that I didn't violate the community guidelines, which turns out to be pretty extreme. I don't know what other people saw in my account, but apparently whoever hacked into my account did something serious enough that Facebook just shut it down right away.
Yeah, it's a thing. That's what they do. They take over these accounts, they put up stuff, and then they get deleted. But you don't have access to your account to complain about.
Well, at that point I did. Because it had only been deactivated. It hadn't been disabled.
Okay.
And so I uploaded my stuff and it says, we have already made a decision on your account. It's been disabled and this decision cannot be reversed, period.
What?
Jeez.
Yes, it was immediate. And so now my account doesn't exist at all. It's gone. Prior to that point, it was kind of somewhere out there in the ether. But now, since then I got this other message saying, boom, it's done. You're gone.
Wow.
Anyway, so for the past week, I've been trying to get in touch with Facebook. There's no customer service. There's no live chat. There's no person you can call for support and explain your situation. You get AI bots, you get help articles. It's absolutely the most frustrating experience. And it's so it just enrages me because we're led to believe and told this one thing about Facebook where I did have the 2-factor authorization.
Yeah.
I did put my photos and my memories up there like they encourage you to do. I did form relationships and connect with people like they encourage you to do. And then in one full swoop, they take it away and there's no recourse. They decide, right?
Yes.
So you engage with them and kind of share your life with them. I mean, some people even have their bank account information on Facebook. Yeah. I didn't, thank God. But
if they buy ads,
and then they're making money off of me by advertisements and impressions and all that kind of stuff. And then they cut me off, right? And so it's there's no two-way street here. There's no transaction. No. There's no what is this? You've totally taken advantage of me. And then
and also this happened. You weren't the only person that this happened to.
If it was just you, I could see it. But they have to know
exactly
what this is.
This is a pattern. So here's the other glitch. This is actually this stings even more. Is that so I had a Facebook page associated with my personal page. I had my inclusive class page. Yeah. Right? Thousands of followers. Anyway, the good news is that it's still there. I found it. It's still there. It's still up, right? But guess what?
You can't.
I can't access it to manage it or to post anything or to engage with anybody because the owner of that account does not exist. And do you think that I can find somebody to tell that to? No, nobody. There's absolutely no way to connect with Facebook at all, on a personal level. I mean, I've been trying, trust me, I've spent hours on this because here's my last piece about this. I mean, 15 years of memories. I had most of those photos backed up anyway, but there's a lot of photos I was tagged in, right? That I'll never see again. But Do you know how many things that I've logged into using that Facebook account?
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Right?
Shoot.
Yes. So I just can't, I haven't even gone there yet. Like I'm just peeling away the layers, like, and it just,
Right.
it's not getting any better.
Yeah.
You know, it just,
The fact that Facebook is not publicizing its intention to make things right,
nothing.
but just hoping that everybody will just make a new Facebook
Like,
page
how
and shut
can,
up.
yeah, I
is
mean,
awful.
people who have been with Facebook from almost the beginning, I mean,
Yeah.
who
It's
engage with it still
ridiculous.
every day. It's not like I'm a non-user. I mean, I still use it, right? And then I
mean, they're deleting these accounts like they are the accounts of the hacker and not the account of a real person who is a victim.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There needs to be a victim support services. I'm going to look that up right now.
Yeah.
Facebook victim support.
There is a class action lawsuit here. I hope some lawyer is on it.
No, I called a lawyer and he says, I only called one lawyer, but he said, he said, nope, the best we can do is send them a letter and ask them to reinstate it. So if there's any lawyers out there
give you
listening,
well, just to give you the keys to get into the inclusive class account.
Yes. If you've lost your access to a business page, as a lot of people had, that would seem to be actionable in some
because
way.
they're losing money.
If not, you and all the other victims need to get together to make some sort of online campaign against Facebook to make this really publicized and to illustrate just how bad this is for them. Oh my God. Why isn't some journalist on this? Why is it on the front page of every paper?
There was an article that somebody in England published. But
yes, I saw that. And the
but that
woman
seems to
lost
be
all
the
her
only thing.
wedding pictures and stuff. Yeah, it's very down low, and I don't know why.
No idea.
Because it apparently is pretty widespread.
Yeah. And nobody's
just awful.
There's no conversation. So anyway,
yes.
So it did prompt Terry to change the administration on our Parenting Roundabout Facebook page.
Well, yeah, I think, this is closing the barn door after the horses left, but if you are freaked out by this, listeners, a couple of things, there's probably many, many things you can do, and I'm sure you can find that online. But one thing is, if you have a professional page, put a friend on it as a co-administrator, so that if one of you gets taken out, somebody else will still be able to get to the page and admit you to it.
Right.
So our Parenting Roundabout page just had me on it, so I added Catherine, and I'll add you too now that you have a new. Now that you're no longer Lily,
real person again.
And also, you can download all your stuff from Facebook and Instagram. We'll put a link in the show notes of how the instructions for doing that. I don't know what you're ever going to do with them. If you would really go back, it downloads as an HTML file. I haven't even clicked on it. But if it would make you feel better to know that you have some vestige of your former glory tucked away on your hard drive, you can do that. If you do it on Facebook, it will also download your Instagram. So, because they are one and the same these days, I guess.
And just to kind of sum up my whole feeling about this thing, and I'm taking the words out of a there's a post here on Twitter that I was just reading. I'm like, yep, that's what it is. It's that Meta has this is a breach of trust. We rely on Facebook to protect our personal information and to allow us a place to share our personal information, and they took that away. Like they are not, something that's not happening. And so the fact that, the two-factor authentication did not work and failed,
right,
raises some pretty serious questions. So
anyway, it still seems like there's you need a lawyer who's, I don't know, maybe not less scrupulous. I mean, maybe the terms of service say we give everything we own to Facebook and they can do with it what they will.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Like, what is in there?
Including deleting it.
Yeah.
And we probably agreed to that when we just clicked yes rather than reading.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm thinking. But
still,
anyway,
it is, if nothing else, bad for their image, I would think.
Oh, it's horrendous.
And it needs
Yeah.
to be bad for their image in a big and loud way.
Yeah.
Well, we are very glad that you weren't disappeared in real life.
Yes.
You're back amongst us
Yes.
for another week of recording. But
Aye.
we'll draw it to a close for today.
Yeah.
For today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment themed round 2, and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.